What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about AMC sitting at about 1065 as I'm looking at the charts right now, doubling from its low previously in February. We're going to talk about where I expect to see the stock going and some news that you need to pay attention to that is going to be released later on today. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. Guys, the NASDAQ is up almost 4% for the day. Tech is coming back. Bond yields are falling. Money is shifting back into the market and back over to those beaten down tech stocks. Okay, if you were able to buy the dips, and especially, some of them that got real low after being pulling back about 35 to 40% off all-time highs, that's awesome. Congratulations. You're definitely going to reap the rewards today. So let's get into the video, guys. AMC, I do want to mention, for everyone that went through this from at least February 1st, held down to a low of about 530, I think it got down to. It consolidated really strong at 550 for a long time, and a lot of people reached out saying, sell it, it's dead, it's never going to come back. Well, let me tell you guys, in just a few short weeks, it has doubled from that, and it still has a ways to go, okay? So just make sure you kind of think to yourself when people said, hey, listen, sell, 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 when it was at its bottom of that 530, 540, and you hung on to it, it's doubled since then. A lot of stocks have tanked since then. I know Tesla and Apple, two of my biggest holdings, had a big pullback. So congratulations for holding, and congratulations for doing your own due diligence and believing what you feel is right. So let's get into it, guys. It came up to, I think it hit about 1065 as I was making this video. It started to pull back 1075. It's pulling back a little bit, but awesome news for AMC. Want to talk a little bit about a couple different things. First one I want to get into is the new DTC ruling. Okay, there's been talks about the internet, how it's going to benefit AMC shareholders, and especially and more specifically about the naked shorting and fake shares that were created. Okay, so personally, I always like to keep an open mind and say that I don't know for a fact that fake shares were created. There's a lot of evidence leading me to believe that there is, but without me fully seeing it with my own eyes, specifically, I always like to make sure I have an open mind to it. So I don't say there's nothing with a fact, but this ruling is basically going to help expose, and every single hedge fund, brokerage, and so forth is going to be held accountable on the daily basis rather than in advance on a monthly basis. Okay, which means if that activity is going on, that is going to help us in the future, which, considering this rule change, almost even makes me more likely to believe that this was going on. So it's great news for us. That's probably a big reason why the stock is also excelling as well. They talked about this on their May 4th meeting. I talked about this in my last video about them wanting to issue or wanting to raise their share ceiling by 500 million shares. It wasn't a share issuance, which there's a difference. And then right here, I highlighted at the bottom, our board has fixed the close of business on March 11th to 21 as the record date. Oh man, I can't even read today, guys. As a record date for determining the stockholders entitled to notice of and to vote at the annual meeting of stockholders or at any adjournment or postponement thereof, which basically means every single stock needs to be accounted for to be able to reach out to the shareholders and say, listen, you are welcome to join. You're welcome to be participating in owning a piece of the company. So this is another way which is going to try to expose anybody that is not legally held of these quote unquote fake shares. Great news for us. Want to point out this as well, guys. I use this website all the time. Many of my videos, shortsqueeze.com. Right now, it is Tuesday, March 9th. Last time we saw AMC, it was an increase of short percentage of 28%. That was reported on February B. If you go under data updates, it is going to be reported March A, which is the 9th today. After the close, I believe it comes out on shortsqueeze.com at about 4:30. However, they do have a paid subscription. So if you're under that paid subscription, which I am not, it comes out, I believe, at 4:30. And if you're not paid, it'll release a few hours later. But you're going to see where the price moves from that immediately. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's coming out later on today. Also want to point out, guys, this is great news again. High options volume. All right, not as high as weeks previously, but there's still high volume today, which is good news. And the call to put ratio is back up to around a 4-to-1. Last video I made, it was at a 3-to-1, which is good news. Okay, that individuals are continuing to go long for the stock. I want to update Fintel. I looked at this earlier today, and there was 85,000 short shares available, and the short borrow fee was 12.2, which we know that 20% is kind of that holy grail. Once it gets there, it takes a little bit of time to get there. That's what happened to GameStop. It takes a little bit of time to get there, and then from there, it went way up to 80 very, very quickly and beyond. So I'm gonna continue to monitor that. Check that out, Fintel.io. It'll give you the short borrow fee rate, which is definitely a good indication on when the potential squeeze can happen, if it's going to happen. So I do want to just put out some good news for AMC as a whole. Another benefit was an analyst from Wedbush had doubled their price target. It was all the way down at $2.50. He doubled it to $5. He's like, it's tough to get positive here despite rising industry optimism, but at least he did that. It's always good news for them. And FX Street put out another article as well. Just, you're looking at a lot of money being shifted away from the tech stocks that had happened. I talked about this in one of my last videos, over to the stocks that were beaten down, okay? Your cruise lines, your airlines, your entertainment, and so forth. Now that, vaccine is being rolled out, pretty rapidly, okay? States are raising or lifting their restrictions, okay? And AMC had a great weekend as their theaters continue to open more and more areas, as well as their occupancy rates are going to increase as well. This is just a great highlighted article. AMC is in a strong cash position, having raised cash during the crisis. We know it raised $917 million, which is good. So this is going to help, raise the stock further as well. It was funny. I was reading, the other day on Twitter, and some guy was like, "Hey, listen, you can still buy the stock right now for less than you could buy a ticket to go see the movie." I thought that was pretty funny. Now I don't even know how much the movies are. It's been a little while since I've been to them, but last time it was like $9. It's probably, $11, $12, depending on where you live in the country as well. But you can still get this share for it. So that's going to be good news. We're going to wait to see exactly where this goes. I expect this to continue to rise for the rest of the week. I also did expect that Monday you would see a little bit of a pullback, and then, based on the news of the May 4th, just to scare people that there might be 500 million new shares coming into the market. However, that is very, very far from the truth. I explained to you guys that it's just to raise their ceiling for the ability to do a share issuance, so there's many, many steps down the chain if shares were to be raised back in another share offering, which would inevitably dilute the price, but that's way down the road, guys. So that's not something I expect. So we're going to see where this goes. I can definitely see this stock starting to hit about that, $11 to $12 mark on Friday. As you see it right now, it's pulling back a little bit. However, it's steadily uptrending. We'll go at this on the 1 month chart, which is absolutely beautiful. It's finally starting to pick back up again. It's got its ups and downs. $8 seems like it's going to be that strong support. It blew through that at 1040. We'll be waiting to find that next resistance, that next support. But I'm seeing 11 to 12 by Friday, guys. Let me know in the comments what you are seeing, okay? If you're new to the channel, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, help join the family. And if you are interested in joining our private community, it's the first link in the description. Guys, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.